It happens to be the last tutorial on the course, ENG352. All right, and we're going to be talking about, it has been a very long discussion on the course, ENG321, and we've said a lot of things about the emergence of English in Nigeria. All right, we've talked about how it came in. All right, and we refer to it as an incursion. All right, because there was a mode of communication even before it came in. All right, and as a result of this made Nigerians and many African countries L2 of English language, and L2 simply means, all right, second language. And so the English language we speak here, as a result of the fact that we are L2 speakers, is nothing compared to L1 speakers. L1s are the natives, right? They have English language as their first language. All right, so it takes deliberate effort to speak as an L1, but the language we speak, the English we speak here in Nigeria, is what we're going to be talking about today. And in today's tutorial, we're going to be particular about the popular Nigerian English, the PNE. All right, with this being said, let's go straight into it. All right, we have ENG321, and we're going to be talking about popular Nigerian English, PNE. All right, so when we say PNE, what are we talking about? What does it mean? All right, in essence. All right, so the Nigerian English is what? The spoken English, all right, in Nigeria. All right, the Nigerian English, which is NE, all right, NE, all right, is the English spoken in Nigeria, all right, but PNE is what? Common among Nigerians, even though it's not a standard form. All right, so this is one thing we should note, that the Nigerian English, right, is the English spoken in Nigeria. All right, so we have the PNE is not a standard, right, English, all right, but it is popular. All right, it is not the standard English, but it is popular. So the PNE and NE, they are different, two different things. All right, they are distinctive of each other. Now the PNE is what we're going to be talking about this afternoon. We're going to be particular about the PNE. Now let's take what David Jowett said. Now David Jowett, in his book Nigerian English Usage in 1991, that's David. All right, David Jowett, in his book, all right, in his book, the Nigerian English Usage in 1991, all right, identified certain consistent, all right, he identified certain consistent linguistic forms associated, all right, with the ways Nigerians use English language in their daily communication. All right, now what are we saying here in essence? Now, David Jowett, in his book in 1991, identified that there are certain consistent linguistic forms. All right, identify certain what? Certain consistent, all right, linguistic forms, all right, certain consistent linguistic forms associated with the ways Nigerians speak English, or with the ways Nigerians use English language, all right, in their day-to-day communication. Now, he identified that the popular forms which have remained acceptable among vast ethnics. Don't forget, we are talking about the PNE. All right, now, but in accordance to what David Jowett said, all right, is David Jowett now taking us through this talk. Now, he said that his own identity, he discovered that the forms which have remained acceptable among Now, PNE has remained what? The majorly acceptable or adopted mode of using English language, even in academics, all right, and social, all right, social dividends. Now, it called these acceptable forms of English, all right, usage in what we refer to as PNG. All right, he said that his identification after he must have done his research is that PNE, all right, remained acceptable, all right, acceptable or accepted, all right, among vast ethnics, all right, accepted among vast ethnic, all right, ethnic group, academic and social divide, all right, among vast ethnic groups, even in academics, all right, academics and social divide, all right. So this we'll be talking about, all right. So let's proceed. So let's take examples of, just a moment. Now let's take examples of the PNE, the popular Nigerian English. Now, let's take it from the various angles. Now let's take it from the misapplied preposition. Misapplied prepositions. All right. From subcategory of PNE, we are going to be looking at some misapplied prepositions. Now, in this statement, all right, we have of, all right, we have on, all right, we have for, we have at, and 5. We have okay, I think in is coming in 2 times. Okay, I think that's 4. Let's still take 4. Now, let's pay close attention to these analogies. All right. So we have, for example, now, let me get another sheet of marker. Now, we said something about misplaced preposition. Now, let's look at this analogy. All right? PNE, all right? PNE has this, all right, as in. Now, let's pay attention on in and at. All right? And let's dissect which is wrong and right preposition. Now let's take, for example, okay, let me just write all these out and we can go through them all together. Okay, let me see, I have off and I have, okay, my marker, at. We have 2. All right, we are still on the subject matter PNE, as popular Nigerian English. All right. So we have of as now, as now, as now. All right. I also have it's my arrival. All right. I think I'm using this marker. All right, and I have, all right, on the table. Okay, and I have 4, which is 2. Okay, left Lagos. I left Lagos. All right, to Ibadan. Now I'm going to circle some. All right. Now I have this. Okay. I have this. Okay. To Ibadan. All right. Now, let's take a good look at all these examples. Now, the ones I circled or the ones I boxed, all right, those ones are the correct ones, all right. But these other ones I have in red boxes, all right, they are the misplaced one. All right, now, in this analogy, we are talking about the popular Nigerian English, and we have listed below some misplaced preposition. Now we have in the box, in the red box, and we have at. All right, we have of in the red box, and we have at. We have on, we have at, we have on, and we have for. All right, to. Now, let's take a look at all this together. Now, which one goes well? Which one sounds correct? Now, when you say at my old age or in my old age, in my old age. All right, I have as of now, and I have on my arrival. Then I have at the table, and I have I left Lagos for Ibadan. Now, usually, all right, this analogy, we are trying to picture, we are trying to paint out. Let's not forget what David said. He said the use of PNE has become accepted, even though it's not the standard form of English language. But it has so much become accepted because it is accepted by, it is seen as, all right, it is seen as normal by major groups in Nigeria, and it is even used in the academics. All right, it is used in academics. All right, it is seen by majorly everybody, but it doesn't make it the standard thing. All right, now from just from one angle, David is saying something about it. Now he's talking about misplaced prepositions. Now there are 2 sentences here. I want to draw analogies from this. All right, I have in, I have at. All right, now if you had said in my old age or at my old age. Okay, now look at these 2 sentences. All right, at my old age, in my old age. which sounds same, all right, according to PNE. Now, according to PNE, this sounds same, all right, but it is wrong, all right. Now, according to this another sentence, of, now we have as of now, all right, and we have as at now. Now, according to PNE, this is right, but it doesn't make it standard, all right. As against what we have here, this is right. I think I should just pick that in red, in green. All right. Okay. I think this, yeah. Okay. Now, according, the ones I marked in red goes well with PNE. All right. But the ones I marked in green are actually the standard thing to have said. All right. Now we have at my old age as against in my old age. All right. We have as at now as against as of now. See, I shouldn't mark that. Let me just run it like this so it doesn't get complicated. All right. So we have at my arrival, on my arrival. We have on the table. We have at the table. All right. We have I left Lagos to Abuja, and we have I left Lagos for Abuja. All right, so as you can see, if you are not deliberate, or if you have not attended classes like this, or if you have not gone through your materials, or even gone through this course itself, you might have not noticed. All right, you speak English quite all right, but as you can see here, these are misplaced prepositions. All right, the prepositions here, as we have marked, so we have in, all right, we have of, and here we have on. All right, we have at, and we have, all right, for. All right, so, but for this level, I'm pretty sure this would have been okay for maybe 100 to 200 level when they do computer-based text. But for this level, I'm pretty sure if you are asked to do something like this, it's going to be like a bonus. All right, but definitely this is just one angle, as I said earlier on. Now let's look at it from some other angles. Just like we have loan words, all right? You know, we said something about code mixing and code switching in our last class, all right? When you speak English and you use a word or two from your dialects just to make it up, it doesn't make it correct, but it's kind of still acceptable, all right, according to the law of code switching and code mixing. Now let's talk about loan words, all right? Words that we loan into English language. All right, loan words. All right. Now, speaking of an angle, food. From the angle of food, we have words like akara. All right, which is said to be a Yoruba from the word is gotten from the Yorubas, and it's said to be a small deep fried beans ball, just like we have buka in Hausa, we have ogbono in Igbo. This is said to be soup. Okay, ogbono in Igbo, and this is said to be soup based on seed of Williamson tree. All right, just like we have akara. All right, we have that's more of a beans cake. All right, we have buka. All right, buka, and we have three. We have ogbono, sorry. All right, so we have seed, a soup based on Williamson tree. All right, Williamson tree. All right, that's Williamson tree. All right, and we have buka. It's said to be a cheap eating place. Cheap eating place. All right, and we have beans cake. All right, beans cake. All right, so we also have words like from dress. We have agbada, which is as we have danshiki, and we have alaki. All right, okay, from titles now. Okay, for dress we have agbada, which is said gotten from Yoruba word. a large gown worn by men, often embroidered at the neck and cuff, all right, and with flowing sleeves that can be hitched over the shoulder. All right, we have danshiki, got it from an Hausa word, actually. It's a gown with wide armpits reaching to the knees. All right, forms. Okay, we have that as danshiki, and we also have titles like alaki. All right, alaki from Hausa, said to be, it's an Hausa word, and it's a Muslim who has been to Mecca. And we have Oba from the Yoruba word, primarily a specific title, all right, often used loosely to refer to any traditional ruler. Just like we have Obi Eze, all right, in Igbo, said to be a specific title holder, all right, and we have that as that. So a lot of words here, just like we have Ifa, all right, talking about traditional religions. We have Babalawo, Vina, we have Ifa as the oracle, all right. Let's just take that down. Religion, okay. Religion, all right. Ifa, Yoruba, Ifa, oracle. Or we have Babalawo, okay. Yoruba, another Yoruba word. A diviner, all right. Also, we have Chi, which is God in Igbo language, all right, and we have Ogbanje Igbo, all right, challenging. I have all that as that. So very quickly, let's talk about let's proceed and let's talk about Nigerian English, all right, varieties of contemporary Nigerian English, all right. Now we are going to be particular about, under the varieties, we are going to be particular about pidgin. All right, we're going to be particular about pidgin, varieties of English language. So we're going to be talking about pidgin. All right. Now, a pidgin is a simple language. We said something about pidgin, how it came. I mean, the history. All right, we said something about it in our last class. All right, and now we're just going to expand a little bit more on it. We're going to be talking about pidgin being a simple language, all right, that arises from contacts between people with different mother tongues. All right, we have pidgin as a simple language. All right, don't forget we call it simplified English. All right, even though it's not correct, but it's simplified for the fact that it has a lot of loan words from English. Now we have pidgin as what we refer to as a simple language. A simple language that arises, all right, a simple language that arises from contact between people with L2, all right, or people who are L2s of English, all right, in a situation where relatively uncomplicated ideas are being exchanged. Now, a simple language that arises, all right, from the communication of English L2s, all right, or between people with different mother tongue, all right, sharing ideas, okay. So we have that as that, all right. It is the corrupt, according to what we have here, it is said to be the corrupt form of any language, all right. Relatively, it is said to be the corrupt form of any language, like we say act version, all right, like the act version of any language, pidgin, all right. We have that as that, all right. Okay, pidgin have probably existed for millenniums. All right, it has probably existed for millennia. All right, so it has all right, it has what? Probably existed, all right, for millenniums. Existed for, right? All right. Okay. Millennia. Okay, that's probably existed for millennia. All right. Now we have that as that on that page. Although we've talked about pidgin, as we've talked a lot about pidgin in our last class. All right. Looking at how it started. All right, from the inception of the Europeans on Africa, all right, and they just had to communicate, all right, they had to teach Africans English, all right, and they had to communicate, and just for effective communications or easy kind of communication, pidgin was introduced like a simplified form of English language, all right, so we have that, all right, so now we have, let's move straight ahead to what we call creoles. I think we also spoke about creoles in our last class. Right, but this is just, we are talking about the varieties now. We are talking about varieties now, all right, of Nigerian English. So also we are going to touch what we call creoles. Okay, that's a creoles. All right, creoles. All right, now creoles are said to be what? Product of multilingual settings. Are said to be what? Products of multilingual settings. All right, but purposefully, all right, but deliberately, intentionally used for social interaction, all right, between vast complex linguistics, all right, to make up a given geographical setting. All right, let me take that again. It's a product of multilingual setting. All right, creoles only exist in a multilingual setting. All right, and this is done deliberately. All right, intentionally done intentionally. All right, for the purpose. All right, done deliberately or for the purpose of interaction between a vast, all right, now as you can see, these are not contradicting at all. Multilingual, vast, all right, between a vast complex linguistic makeup, all right, vast complex. It's not just only vast, it's also complex, all right, linguistic make up, all right, combination of different tongues, different languages, all right, linguistic makeup of a given geographical setting, all right, of a given geographical setting. All right, so we have that as that under Creole. Now the point here is that we have the complexity, all right, the size, the complexity, how complex is it? And we have varieties, multilinguists, all right, we have varieties, multilinguists, all right, multilingual setting, and we have a given geographical setting. These are all the things that makes up creoles, all right. So we have, all right, so now let's talk about some certain terminologies, all right, very quickly. Let's look at what we call rhetorics, all right. Let's look at what we call rhetorics. Okay, rhetorics, all right. All right, now when we say rhetoric, what are we talking about? All right, this is the art of what? Harnessing reasonings. All right, rhetorics is said to be the what? The art of harnessing, all right, what? Reasons, emotion, and authority, all right, through what? Language, with the view, with the intention to persuade an audience, all right. You do this with the intention to persuade an audience, all right. The act of harnessing what we call emotion, reasoning, and authority. As of emotion, all right, reason, all right, harness emotion, reason, all right, and authority through language and authority through what? Language, all right, with the purpose. There's always a reason for everything, all right, with the purpose of what? Persuading the audience, all right, persuading the audience. When we say persuading, now you are convincing the audience to act, all right, pass a judgment or identify with giving values. There are reasons to doing things, all right. So when you harness emotion, reason, and authority through language, through spoken words, all right, with the intention, all right, with the intention, all right, intention to what? Persuade, all right, to make people do something willingly. Persuade, convince, all right, persuade or convince people, all right, to what? To compromise, not negatively, all right. When I say compromise, in the sense that do things you want them to do, all right, to compromise, all right, or all right, acknowledge, all right, giving values, all right. Now we have that as rhetorics. Now let's talk about the tools for rhetorics, all right. We have repetition and variation, all right. When we say repetition, we are talking about, all right, the basic speech writing tool used by, all right, many great speakers, all right, emphasizes on key elements while avoiding monotones, all right, emphasizing the key elements and avoid monotones. They were talking about repetition with variation, all right. We have that as that. We have parallelism, all right. It is link, all right, it's a linkage, all right, of similar words. Parallelism, all right, parallelism, all right, a linkage of similar words, all right. In other words, similar words or idea, in other words, balanced constructions that repeatedly uses the same grammatic what? Function, all right, to convey what we call parallel or coordinates or coordinated idea. Now, why do we have parallelism? Basically, is to what? Communicate ideas coordinatedly, all right, coordinate your ideas in a sequential form. Now, parallelism has to do with what? The linkage of similar words, all right. These similar words, you use them to what? Similar words, all right, or ideas in a balanced construction, or ideas in a balanced construction, all right. So we have that as that. So we have also figures of speech, all right. Figures of speech they are referred to as group of words used, all right, to give particular emphasis or ideas, all right. Words used to give particular emphasis or ideas, all right. So we have the likes of anticlimax. This is a sequence of ideas that abruptly diminish what? The integrity or importance, all right, integrity or what? Important at the end of a sentence, all right. We have that as that. We also have apostrophe, all right. This is a device, all right, by which an actor turns from the audience or writer, from reader, all right, to address a person. Usually is the idea absent or deceased in what we call abstract idea, all right. This is when the actor turns from the audience, all right, just to pass an abstract idea, all right. We also have climax, all right, the arrangement of words, clauses or sentences in order to what? In order of their importance, all right, in order to what? In order to least forcible, all right, forcible rising of power, all right, arrangements, all right, of words in order of importance, climax. All right, in order of importance, all right, to create a rising, all right, or a rising, or what? Okay, a rising in power, a rising in power until the last, until the last. All right, so we have that as that. So let's talk about, all right, let's talk about business essay. Now when we say business essay, all right, it's closely connected to discussing principles and methodologies that business activities are based on. All right, these are essays that has to do with business communication. All right, business communication reports. All right, presentations. You know, when we say reports, we're talking about you giving, all right, events or instances, all right, of an event, record of an event or instances of an event. All right, we have presentation. All right, it's also one way of business essay, and it's used in, all right, communication. All right, it's very effective in communication. We also have curriculum vitae. All right, course of one's life. All right, in a document. All right, a detail. Now, resume about academic. Now, for a little bit more detail, we have resume, which is more about academic and your professional accomplishment. All right. Now we said something about resume and your application letter. These are two different things. All right. Okay. So we have curriculum vitae are mostly used in what? Curriculum vitae are mostly used, or often used in academic or research position, whereas resume is preferred in business or industry. All right, basically they do the two different, they are all the same thing, this particular thing, but just that they are industrial particular. All right, so we have that as that. Now curriculum vitae includes information about professional publications, presentation, all right, grant received details. Now curriculum vitae, it does that. Why resume is what? Brief. All right, a brief, concise document, precise, straightforward document, an effective sales. All right, your credentials for employment and the likes. So all this, we have all this as this. So I think on this note, we'll call it okay a wrap for today's class. Okay, very quickly, we have idiomatic expressions. All right, idioms are, or idiom is a word or phrase which means something different, all right, from what it says. All right, we have the likes of metaphor. All right, examples of this, we have a break. Now, to break a leg, all right, a way to wish someone good luck. All right, to live it up, live wild, enjoy life, go to a lot of parties. All right, so we have all this as this. So on this note, we'll call it a wrap for today in the marathon, and we're able to conclude on the course. And let's do all to bring our notes up to date, take a picture of it and send it to the class. All right, so thank you very much, everyone. And in our next class, we'll be taking some other course entirely. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you in subsequent tutorials. Bye-bye.